Hey y'all, she's back. Yeah. What's going on? Good morning. Welcome back to the Carla Cannon Show, where I share transformative concepts to teach you how to level up in life and business. Y'all know it's a golden morning. Hey, listen, I apologize for the delay, child. Y'all know we sprung forward last night, right? And I could not get up. I don't know how 1 hour going forward can mess up your whole sleep process. Golden morning. Hey, y'all. She's back. What's up, Sonia? Hey, y'all. Y'all know how we do. Let's get into these morning declarations. Come on, say it with me out of your mouth. I am loved and accepted by God. Come on, say it with me. I am enough. Come on. I am forgiven. I am the interruption in my bloodline. I am worthy. Come on. I am healed, whole, and set free from the pain of my past. Come on. I am healed, whole, and set free from the pain of my past. Come on, last one. I expect something great to happen to me today. Hey, y'all. I see you. Hey, Juanita. What's up, Venetia? What's going on, Jules? Thank you. Sometimes you got to take some time for yourself, baby. You got to unplug. Everybody will be there when you get back. Don't worry about no algorithms. Don't worry about no followers. And don't worry about no fans. Sometimes you got to take care of you. Come on, y'all. Welcome to the Carla Cannon Show. Here we go. Golden, 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 golden. Listen, y'all got time to click that share button. Go ahead and invite someone to tune into the Carla Cannon Show. Usually we're live weekdays, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much, Wanda. Hi, Cherie Jenkins. Good morning. Y'all go ahead, click that share button. Tag some girlfriends. Say, listen, tune in. I'm looking new and refreshed. Thank you, baby. Here go our part. Come on. Throw some shoulder into it. Like it's golden. It really matters to me. What's happening? What's happening? Thank you all so much for tuning in. Welcome to the Carla Cannon Show. I am Carla R. Cannon, the Trailblazer, and I share transformative concepts to teach you how to level up in life and business. And so listen, child, I've only been going 2 weeks. I've been going for a minute now. I'm back with the jump off. Okay, so I only been going 2 weeks. And when I tell y'all so much done happened, do y'all know how hard it is to stay off social media? Oh my God. Do y'all know how hard it is? And it's been so much going on. We're in a new season, right? And it's unfortunately, it's a year later and no officers have been arrested for the murder of Breonna Taylor. Come on, we got a problem with that. It's been a year later, nothing has happened, right? So much going on in media, so much going on in the news. Listen, guys, let's remember that the people that you see on the news, these are real people. So let's pray for Breonna Taylor's family. Let's do whatever we can to participate in getting some things done. I don't know what that may look like for you, but maybe reach out in your community or online and see what it is that you can do, because that's ridiculous. You understand? That's ridiculous. And racism definitely still exists. It's not everybody, but it is somebody. Come on. And so let's just make sure the things that we see, that we don't take them lightly. And that when your son come home every day or your daughter come home every day, you don't take it for granted. Come on. Don't take that for granted, because somebody's child, somebody's daughter, son didn't come home or was murdered in their own home. And that is just beyond ridiculous. All right. So moving on to some more news, but a lot going on, right? We're going to get into today's topic. Y'all got me for a little bit today. It's Monday. No clients on Monday, right? Okay, it's been a lot going on. And right now, everybody's in an uproar. Y'all heard the thing with Kurt Franklin and his son. And, you know, he cussed the son out. Yeah, he cussed Shawana. He cussed his son Slim out. He cussed them out. Now, I don't know about y'all. Okay. But I'm a parent. All right, we ain't gonna talk about you. We'll just talk about me and Kirk. You know what I'm saying? And I just believe that every parent, I don't care how saved you are, I don't care how much you sing, I need just a little more Jesus. I don't care if your song is Shekinah Glory, yes. You understand? Everybody done cuss their child out at least one time. Come on here. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. You just won't be recorded. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy to sit back and look at celebrities whose lives are on the forefront, to jump in on blogs, to jump in, you know what I'm saying, in the comment section because you feel like you're unknown and, well, let me just ride this bandwagon. I have learned, let me tell y'all something. Life has taught me to keep my mouth shut. You understand? Because it's easy to weigh in on an opinion. It's easy to always have something to say when it's involving someone else. But what about when it's you? You understand? What if we can see the last interaction that happened with you and your child, you and your spouse, you and your friends? Come on. And so you have to understand these people are in the limelight. So a lot of them grew up in the limelight. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. But can I be honest? Somebody say, tell me, girl, tell me. Can I be honest? I really wasn't shocked. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't shocked when I heard the word Kirk cussed his son out. I wasn't shocked at all. Now, I was shocked at one of the curse words that he chose to use, was the GD, because I was like, come on, you done missed something about the name Jesus. But when I tell you Kirk cussed him out some kind of good, I said, oh my God. Like I don't know what that little boy did, but I always say this. Let me tell y'all something. Can't nobody get you out of character, get you out of pocket, and pull out that inner ratchetness in you like your family and your children. I don't care what you say. Can't nobody take you to that next level, baby, like them children that you gave birth to. Come on. And your family members. Now, I'm not justifying what Kirk did. Yes, you have a responsibility. There's a level of accountability and maturity that is required. But at the end of the day, they got their own family issues. And my thing is, everybody's like, well, this should be handled privately. Well, it was a private matter. The son made it public. You understand? It was a private matter. And then I felt so sorry for Kirk because then Kirk got to go on, do this video, apologizing to all of us because he cussed his son out. He basically apologized for being a parent. Now, I'm a little different. Y'all, hey, I understand. But I told y'all a long time ago. Actually, Steve Harvey told y'all way back. He said, y'all don't believe Christians cuss? Y'all don't think Christians cuss? He said, okay. You understand? Sister Odell would never disappoint Steve because she would cuss up something right in the church house. You understand? So to bring seriousness to it, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we all are accountable. But something that it did remind me, something that I was reminded of was our words matter. You understand? If you think about it, a lot of the things that's going on in the media is because of what somebody said, whether it was political, whether it was racist, whether it was inappropriate, whatever it was. So we have to really be reminded that our words matter. What you say matters. Who you say it to matters, baby, and how you say it. But at the end of the day, we got to learn how to stop putting people on pedestals. I learned this a long time ago. Preachers, celebrities, doesn't matter. I've met some celebrities before, and after meeting them, their countenance was like, okay, I don't really like the way you acted. But then I realized, I said, you know what? Everybody has a day. You don't know what was going on in those people's mind. You don't know what, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like we hear, first impressions are lasting impressions. So for me, I really try to, now I'm not perfect. If you walk with me every single day of my life, just like if I walk with you every single day of your life, we'll see flaws. And so we just got to extend a little bit more grace. And I did see someone say how people pick and choose depending on who it is, whether they cut them down or not. Now, I agree with that because depending on who it is, people just tend to have their favorites, child. And I like Kirk. First of all, I like Kirk Franklin because I was a hardcore rap listener. T.I., DMX, you know what I'm saying? We can go deeper, but I ain't gonna scare some of y'all. I was like, I like that hardcore, shoot you with a gun, peel off your face. That was me. Shoot you with a gun, peel off your face. Yeah, that was me. And when I heard, and I was a Salt and Pepper fan, and so when I heard Stomp by Kirk Franklin, you understand? Like, I heard Salt come in there say, when I think about the goodness and the fullness of God, I said, oh, wait a minute. And that was my introduction. I'm going to be completely honest, y'all. That was my introduction to gospel music. So when we get into all these conversations of should gospel artists collaborate with secular artists and all of that, all I got to say is, for me, you understand? That was my introduction to gospel music. If he hadn't done that, I knew Salt, I didn't know Kirk. You understand? Now we've seen where people like Tasha Cobbs did a song with Nicki Minaj. That the collaboration has to make sense. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna say what I want to say. The collaboration has to make sense. I don't know about you. Now that was a little different for me after Kirk Franklin introduced me to gospel music, and how I got into worship was CeCe Winans' Throne Room. You understand? Sharonda said, "Don't peel off my face. Shoot you in the face." I forgot what I said, but that, yeah. yeah. So, CeCe Winans Kirk Franklin introduced me to gospel music, and CeCe Winans got me into worship. I was always the fast pace, and then when I learned about worship, so by the time I'm introduced to Tasha Cobbs, like Heart of Worship, like the old, bigger Tasha Cobbs, that was the Tasha that I knew and really was like, yo, this is absolutely amazing. So when you fast forward some years later, and I'm listening to worship, and the next thing you know, Nikki coming through, I was like, it just interrupted. Anybody else felt that way? And if you didn't, it's okay. Like, it's just some people I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear R. Kelly coming through when I'm worshiping. I appreciate the song Marvin said, but I don't want to hear that when I'm in my worship zone. I don't want to hear that when I got my heavy worship rotation going on. So it just I remember one day I was losing it. I was like, oh my God. And then Nikki came through, and I was like, it just not anybody. You know how you be in church and you be in deep, or you know how you used to be in church and you be in deep worship, and somebody come and knock you, and it something happens and it just knock you right on about the spirit. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. Don't judge my testimony. That's what happened to me. So for me, the collaborations have to make sense. You understand? And for me, I just think that was a political move. That was I want to increase my following. I want to expand my audience to the secular. So I get it, but it has to make sense with the artist. All right. Let's move on. What's next? Grammys. Oh my goodness. So I haven't had a chance to watch the Grammys. I watched snippets of them, but I'm super excited and about who is it? Beyonce, Taylor Swift. I know Beyonce made history as well. Her 28th Grammy win. And guess what else, sisters? Spinderella, honey. Spinderella was presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award, and I thought that was so dope. And I know a lot of y'all out there are excited, especially being all that took place with the Salt and Pepper biopic, and Spin was not included. So we're just gonna give y'all some little updates. It's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on. We're not gonna get into this Brian Carn and Senegal stuff. I ain't even dealing with none of the preacher stuff. Never mind. You understand? But it's a lot going on. And what I want to remind you guys to do is to know God for yourself. Extend grace when you see certain things happening publicly. Just use that as a learning lesson. We can learn a lot from other people. We don't gotta experience what they experience to know what to do, what not to do. And just mind the business that pays you. Mind the business that pays you. All right. So let's get into today's topic. I'm trying to think, was there anything else? It's like so much going on. And I want you guys to really fight for your focus. If you got to do like I did, and you got to unplug, and you got to recharge, and you got to be replenished, and you got to, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is that you have to do, you do that, and make sure that you take care of you, take care of your mental health. I really want to encourage us to implement self-care daily. If we implement self-care daily, we will have less anxiety. We will have less breakdowns. We will have more breakthroughs. And I'm even guilty of that. Like I was not doing my self-care as frequently as I used to do. I would do it every single day, and I kind of got away from that. And my body reminded me like, yo, what you doing? This is not what we do. And I had to shut it down. And so I was trying to come back for the Carla Cannon Show last week. And Holy Spirit was like, nah, take another week. You need more time. And I was like, man, my algorithm's going to be all jacked up. And God was like, I'm the author and finisher of your faith. I'm the Alpha and Omega. You worried about an algorithm? Don't worry about that. Whoever's supposed to see you, going to see you. And I'll breathe on your ministry, your brand, your business. And we're going to take this thing to the next level in due season, in my divine timing. So Speaking of seasons, once again, we are now in a new season. I need you guys to be reminded that what worked in the last season may not work in this season. And what did work, what didn't work in the last season, let it go. You know what I'm saying? Whatsoever the mistakes, whatsoever the mishaps, whatsoever, whatever it was, release it, let it go, and enter into a new season. What Martha Menezes and Israel Houghton say, it's a new season, it's a new day, fresh anointing coming your way. So embrace that. And if you got to listen to a song today to saturate your atmosphere, to encourage you, to empower you, take a listen to New Season by Martha Menezes. Make sure you listen to the version with Israel Houghton, because it is indeed a new season. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. So be encouraged. Don't allow yourself to become don't even be stuck on last season's wins. Because sometimes, y'all know we talked about that. We can get stuck on that last win, that you missed the win, the opportunity to overcome the win that's right in front of you, or the obstacle that's right in front of you, because you're still focused on what was back here. All right. Let's get into today's conversation. So all this week, we are going to be talking about overcoming codependency. Yeah, I know we was talking about what's going to be the topic for March. What's going to be the topic for March. And so for me, I want to stay in the vein of personal development. I'll be having some master classes, some trainings, coaching programs. I'll be having some things or mentorship programs. I'll be having some things like that coming, where we can discuss business, and we can get into branding and marketing and things like that. But on the Carla Cannon Show for now in the season, I want to stay in the vein of personal growth and development, inner healing, becoming all that you were destined to be, working through our issues, giving you transformative concepts so that you can level up in life and business. All right. So let's kick it off with first of all, has anybody ever heard the term codependency? Have you ever heard that term? For me, my first time hearing, put it on the screen, let me know if you've ever heard the term codependency apart from today. For me, my first time really hearing the term and understanding what it meant was when I was watching Red Table Talk, Jada Pinkett's Red Table Talk, I'm just be honest, when she was addressing the August Alsina situation with her and Will, and she was codependent. It was codependent at its finest. And then when she was talking about her journey, how she was a very codependent person. So I'm going to give you guys some various definitions of what therapists and licensed psychologists say codependency means. And then I'm going to give you the simplistic term of what I put all that together and made it simple of what it means. Okay, let me see what y'all are saying. So yes. Okay, some of you have heard of codependency, and some of you have not. It's okay. Awesome. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to educate, empower, and empower you. So educate you and then empower you to take action on what you just learned. So what is codependency? Codependency is don't let all the terminology mess you up, because I'm going to give you the simplistic term as well, but you need to know the technical definition as well. Y'all know on the Carla Cannon Show, we are all about adding value and educating you. I got a whole notebook. All of the Carla Cannon stuff goes in here. It's not a game. I really do my research, and these topics come from life experiences. I've been through some things. I learned that I'm a codependent in recovery. And once we go into the characteristics, all this week, we're going to talk about what codependency is, or identify the characteristics of codependency. And we're going to break them down, how to know if you're codependent, and then how to overcome, how to break that cycle of being codependent. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I really believe all of us got a little trace of it. And so you will see it's not a bad thing. Acknowledgement is the first step, or awareness is the first step to overcoming anything. And so we got to become aware of an issue. And then once we become aware, we have a choice. We can choose to be in denial, or we can choose to acknowledge it. Right. And so awareness is the first step to overcoming. Acknowledgement is the second step. And then we got to take action. It's what I call the 3 A's. We got to become aware. We got to acknowledge, and then we have to take action. All right. So codependency is an emotional, psychological, and behavioral condition that develops as a result of an individual's prolonged exposure and practice of a set of oppressive rules rules which prevent the open expression of feelings as well as the direct discussion of personal and interpersonal problems. So meaning if you grew up in a household that's like, be quiet, your voice didn't matter, we don't want to hear what you got to say, you talking too much, or expressing emotions was not something that was encouraged, then that could cause a person to become codependent. All right. Another codependency specialist defines codependency as those self-defeating learned behaviors. Listen to this. Those self-defeating learned behaviors or character defects that result in a diminished capacity to initiate or to participate in loving relationships. I'm going to say that again. Those self-defeating learned behaviors or character defects that result in a diminished capacity to initiate or to participate in loving relationships. All right. Now, my definition of, because I've done a lot of research on this, because on my healing journey, I learned that I was codependent, and codependency takes form in various ways. And you're going to learn all about that this week. But my definition of codependency is when your ability to function is contingent upon another person, thing, or substance. Okay. Anything outside of you. We're not talking about spiritually. Like, of course, we look to God, to Christ, to our higher power. But codependency is when you can't function, when your ability to function is contingent upon a substance, another person, or something else. You understand? Or a thing. All right. Now, Melody Beattie, she is the author of the book Codependent No More, and she defines codependent as someone who has let another person's, listen to this, this is a good definition too. Someone who has let another person's behavior affect him or her, who is obsessed with controlling that person's behavior. All right. That used to be me. I wanted to control the outcome. I don't want you to be like this. I don't want you to talk to me like this. I don't want you to do it like this. I want you to do it like that. This is a form of codependency when what someone says or what someone does to you determines how you feel about you. All right. What someone says or what someone does affects and determines how you feel about yourself. All right. So a codependent person is someone who cannot function on their own and whose thinking and behavior is instead organized around another person, process, or substance. Do you guys have a clear understanding now of what codependency is? Because a lot of times we hear these terms. We're going to talk about narcissism. We're going to get into that too. Why? Because we're always trying to call somebody else narcissistic or a narcissist. And a lot of times we have those same traits and we don't even realize it. We're so quick to call other people toxic when the truth is there's been times that we have been toxic. You understand? So we're going to talk about all of that. Toxic behaviors, toxic mindsets, narcissism, narcissistic characteristics. We're going to talk about all of that because we got to stop bringing everybody else to the courtroom and we got to bring ourselves and say, yo, I have these characteristics. Yo, I want to change. Yo, that's why I think like that. Yo, that's why I'm affected. That's why my relationships were hindered. Wow, that's why that romantic relationship didn't work. That's why my relationship with my parents is broken. Come on. So I'm not saying take responsibility for anybody else except for you. So if we're going to grow up and mature, and if we're going to experience significance and success in this lifetime, we got to take responsibility. No longer can we blame everybody else. Let their process be their process, but you become better. And the more you become aware of this type of information, this is all stuff I've learned since being on my healing journey. Being intentional with my healing journey. And so like the late, great Dr. Maya Angelou says, as I learn, I teach. All right. So again, codependency is when your ability to function is contingent upon another person, thing, or substance. All right. Or someone who cannot function on their own and whose thinking and pattern is instead organized another person, process, or substance. I was watching another documentary of Whitney Houston. And it has been said and determined that the relationship between Whitney and Bobby was codependent. And what that means is when you get two people together, people are like, well, why was she okay? If she was using drugs prior to Bobby, why is it that once she got with Bobby, everything heightened and she went downhill? Because when you get two people together, did y'all know, watch this. Did you know that you cannot be a toxic individual, but you can team up with the wrong person and you both are toxic to each other? So just because you and I are in friendship, or we are in covenant, or we are in relationship and we are toxic to one another, that doesn't mean we're going to be in turn toxic to everyone else around us. Did y'all know that? I was studying this stuff I am really studying codependency, and so two people can be toxic and codependent amongst codependent to one another, but they can go and be in another relationship and it actually be healthy. And so what people feel, or what, the media determined, was that Whitney and Bobby just wasn't a good pair, and all that he came with and all that she came with, it just heightened everything. And that's when she went on a downward spiral. I hope this is helping y'all. Yeah. And can also be trauma bonding. You know what I'm saying? Trauma bonding. And me personally, every time I watch, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. And these are just my thoughts. You understand? Like, these are just my thoughts from a loving perspective. I just really believe that, Whitney died of a broken heart. That's how I feel about that. Yes, she became codependent upon Bobby Brown. He became codependent amongst her. But I feel like her heart was just broken. She felt like she couldn't truly be who she was, but she had to be who the world wanted her to be. I don't think you guys understand the pressures of being a Michael Jackson, being a Whitney Houston, you get what I'm saying? We could keep going and going and going. I don't think y'all understand. We see these people in the news, and we see them trending on Instagram, and we weigh in and we talk about their children and their hair and their weight gain and all this. These people are human. They got feelings, and it's a lot going on. And so we got to make sure that we do stuff like this. Let's work on our own mental health. Thank you, baby. Let's deal with our toxic and narcissistic and codependent patterns. Let's deal with that and let these people be who they're going to be. All right. So the heart of codependency and recovery lies not in the other person, a child, an adult, a spouse, a friend, client, or relative, right? But it lies in ourselves. I need you guys to understand that you can be codependent in your business. You can be codependent upon your clients, upon your staff members, upon family members, upon substances. You can be codependent upon anything that you need to function. You become codependent upon. Is this making sense? All right. So the heart of codependency and recovery does not lie in the other person, a child, adult, spouse, friend, or etc., but it lies in ourselves, in the ways that we have let other people's behaviors affect us, and in the ways we have let other people's behaviors control us, and also determine how we view and see ourselves. All right. So we got to make some decisions in 2021. This next season, we got to make a decision and say, oh, that's what that's called. Like, yo, now that I'm aware, now that I've acknowledged it, now I can take action to overcoming it. All right. So some of these ways include, right? We're talking about codependency. The heart of codependency and recovery lies not in the other person, but it lies in ourselves, in the way that we have let other people's behaviors affect us. Guys, we got to get to a place where we stop falling apart when people don't give us what we feel like we need from them. Remember, I told you before, sometimes it's not that people don't love you. It's not that they don't care about you. It's just people don't always have the capacity to give you what you need or what you feel like you need from them. But God is so grateful. He will always make sure that you have what you need. It may not be from who you expect it to be from. It might not be your parents. It might be someone else. It might be an older person that God will put in your path, an older woman, an older man, and they'll become like a father figure, mother figure to you. You get what I'm saying? So we got to stop allowing what other people are doing or are not doing to determine and dictate our happiness and how we view ourselves. All right. So we got to stop letting other people's behaviors affect us. And these ways include, watch this, when you are codependent, you can become, these ways include obsessing, controlling, obsessive helping. That means you overextend yourself to people often, caretaking to the maximum degree, low self-worth, self-repression, abundance of anger and guilt, peculiar dependency, abandonment of oneself, communication issues, and could also include being stuck in the 5-stage grief or abandonment process. All right. Whoo, this is a lot. This is a lot of information. But guys, listen, this is how we grow. This is how we overcome. This is how we evolve. This is how we emerge into who we are destined to be. And we got to start giving more attention to ourselves. So let's dive in. Characteristics of a codependent person. Now, we're going to be talking about this today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. The characteristics, okay? We're going to be talking about this today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So codependents tend to overreact, all right? They tend to overreact. Number two, they oft, or on the flip side, can underreact or rarely act at all. So are you the type of person when something happens, you overreact, you underreact, or you don't react at all? Which one are you? Because you're one of them. All right. Number three, characteristics of a codependent person: repeats habits without thinking. Repeats habits without thinking. That means we tend to keep doing the same thing. What is insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over, but expecting a different result. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the Carla Cannon Show. Today we are talking about overcoming codependency. I have already defined what codependency is, and we are now talking about the characteristics of codependency. And this is how you can find yourself. This is not saying self-diagnose yourself. But what it is saying is to help you become more aware of those habits, those mindsets, those behavioral patterns or cycles that are taking place in your life. For everything, there is a root. And so if we want to become better and we become stronger and strengthen our, strengthen our core, then we got to deal with these little nuances that stand in the way and prevent us from becoming the best version of ourselves. Now, as I'm teaching, if you guys have questions regarding anything that I'm teaching, to the best of my ability, I will do my best to answer it. Just comment on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. And if I don't have the answer, I'll direct you to it or I'll help find it for you. Okay. All right. So codependency. Okay. So Shawana says it depends on the situation. So listen. So when you're answering this question of do I tend to overreact, underreact, or rarely at all, we're talking about on a consistent basis. Overall, what type of personality do you have? Do you tend to be the quiet one? You're not going to say nothing. Do you tend to, you're going to speak up and you might overdo it, or you tend to underreact? There's a site. We got to pay attention to patterns, and we're talking about the big picture. All right. So a codependency also involves a habitual system of thinking, feeling, and behaving towards ourselves and others that can cause us pain. All right. Codependency involves a habitual system of thinking, feeling, and behaving towards ourselves and others that can cause us pain. Codependent behaviors or habits are self-destructive. All right. If you want to transform your life, you want to level up in your life and business, we got to deal with these underlying issues that can affect us experiencing longevity in our careers, in our relationships. Come on. Right? These habits can lead us into destructive cycles and relationships that simply don't work. A lot of times we're trying to figure out, how do I keep ending up? Anybody ever asked the question, how do I keep attracting the same type of people? Why do I keep attracting the same type of friends, the same type of staff members, the same type of romantic partners? Most of the time, codependency is at the core of that. And in order for you to begin to attract healthy relationships straight across the board, we got to deal with our codependent tendencies. I used to overreact, but I'm finding myself somewhere in the middle of the three. That's a healthy balance. Good. All right. Brittany says, I rarely react. That could be good or bad, Brittany. That could be good or bad, because some things we do need to respond to. Codependents often self-sabotage relationships that they claim they want or desire. Codependents tend to self-sabotage relationships that they claim they want or desire. All right. So what that means is, if you're a codependent person, you may have abandonment issues, rejection issues. I was reading about what's the dude name? Jeffrey Dahmer, was that his name? That was like killing, like having sex with dead bodies and murdering men and just all these sick things that he was doing. And all of that stemmed from, I mean, I ain't gonna say all of it because I know his mother ended up leaving. I was watching what's the show called? How It Really Happened, hosted by Hill Harper. And they have a lot of like documentaries of like real life situations of what happened to people and the total investigation and things like that. So y'all know I love reading about people's stories and their journeys and things that took place. And so there was early on it seemed like he had a sick mind. And here's what I want you to know. Had his family or his parents been attentive, and they even came forward and wanted to help other parents to prevent these same things from happening to them, because they felt like they could have done more. And as parents, we got to start being more attentive. We need to start being more aware. When my daughter is a little too quiet, she's 18. I still go in there and be like, "You all right? You okay?" I pay attention. Part of the reason why I shut down was to give time and attention to my daughter, was to give time and attention to myself. Because sometimes we can become so overly consumed with everything else and everyone else that those that need us the most, that's right in the home with us, can feel neglected, overlooked, or may need our undivided attention. But we keep saying, "I got to do this, and that," when truth is those things can wait. Gotta handle your money. Like, my money hasn't skipped a beat in these 2 weeks that I haven't been on the Carla Cannon Show. When you have systems and operations that manifest in your business, then you won't have to worry about chasing money, but you'll become a money magnet and money will chase you. So certain things were still going, even though I was semi-inactive. But with this Jeffrey Dahmer thing, if, early on, even some of his classmates noticed some weird things and some, you know what I'm saying? And he just, went through a downward spiral. And what really ticked him off was when his mother chose to take his brother and left him in an empty house. You understand? Like, to me, that makes me feel like you knew something was off with your son and you didn't want to deal with it. How often do we know things are off or something is wrong? You got parents now where their kids aren't learning at the capacity in which they should, they know they should be learning, but they won't go get them tested. Ain't nothing wrong with my son. We saw this, right? Y'all know I love watching shows on Good Girls. When come to find out, I think the son was dyslexic or really a genius. But because he learned differently, you see what I'm saying? And so sometimes we don't want to deal with these situations. It's so much easier to walk away. Just like our relationships, it's so much easier to just walk away than it is to fight and press through and deal with the issue. You know why so many people walk away and they tell you, release those relationships, let them people go. Everybody's not toxic. If you keep releasing people, but you're not doing the necessary work to heal that hurting part of you, all you're going to do is keep meeting people, connecting people, and the same cycle is going to occur. We got to start changing the narrative and saying, yo, don't be so cut to cut off. Take some time to assess and reflect. What's the part that you play? Yeah, it was wrong, but how did you even attract this into your life? What's going on in you that spoke to them and y'all connected? Come on, we got to start really doing some deeper digging into ourselves and stop wanting to blame everybody else for the outcome of our lives or because of what they did to us. A lot of times we put ourselves in those positions and we're wondering, and I know this is hard. This is meat today. Ain't giving y'all no milk. I know it can be challenging to listen to because then you are accountable for what you hear and you got to take responsibility and do the necessary work so that you can overcome. And so with this situation with Jeffrey Dahmer, like his mom left him in the house by himself. And so one of the things he would have sex with the men, murder them, and then have sex with them again. And then because his thing was, if they're dead, they can't leave me. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't leave me. That was his whole thing. He didn't want anybody else to leave him. That's mommy issues at its finest. You see what I'm saying? That's rejection and abandonment at its finest. And so whatsoever we don't confront, we'll never be able to conquer. Right? We see these things in the news. We see it all the time. Y'all remember the story? What was the little girl named Haley? I saw that yesterday on the show. I forgot the last name, where they accused the mom of killing the little girl. She just disappeared. Nobody knew where she was. And then the mom got off on it because they couldn't find nothing. They couldn't prove that she did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, all these people who want children and you're going to hurt your child. Like, it'd be so much going on, and so for me, my studying psychology, like not like the traditional way, but just in books that I read, psychology is the study of behavior. Like, why do people do what they do? And the more I learn that, I apply it to myself. And then it helps me to understand those that I'm in relationship with, whether personally or professionally. So we got to start dealing with our issues, ladies and gentlemen, because whatsoever you don't deal with today will eventually deal with you tomorrow. So when Jeffrey Dahmer started having those crazy thoughts of, skeletons and dead bodies and all of that weird stuff, if those things were checked earlier, maybe he could have been medicated. I think he was diagnosed schizophrenic, things like that. We got to start, guys, we got to, it's just like having cancer in your body. All right. It eats up at you and eventually the body deteriorates and you die. But if it's caught early, then they can do something about it. You see what I'm saying? And so we got to start paying more attention. And guess what else? It's never too late. And I really believe combined with prayer, therapy, support group systems, you can overcome anything. But in order for you to overcome, you got to acknowledge it. You got to become aware that you have a particular cycle in your life. And then you got to be committed to doing the work. I can't tell you how many people over the years have reached out to me for coaching, or they'll see, oh, you are run a 6-figure business, or, oh, you've been successful at X, Y, and Z. And they think I'm just supposed to sit down and just tell them everything. I said, listen, I can sit down and tell you my whole life story, how I did X, Y, and Z, how I did my boutique, how I did my coaching practice, how I am a content creator, how I did all these things. I said, but you got to be willing to do the work. It's not about information. It's about transformation. You got to be willing to do the work first on you. We got to deal with those inner issues. So now I start people with, let me find out more about you. Where are you at mentally, psychologically? What's your heart posture like? What you got going on right now? What are your distractions? What are your pain points? Because I can teach you how to build a business, but if you're not healthy, you don't have a healthy soul, you will find a way to sabotage it. If you're not free of codependency and you have toxic patterns and behaviors and mindsets, you will self-sabotage everything that you spent time building. All right, that's another conversation. So codependent behaviors prevent us from finding peace and happiness with the most important person in our lives. Who is the most important person in your life? Type it on the screen. Talk back to me. Who is the most important person in your life? Codependent behaviors prevent us from finding peace and happiness with the most important person in our life. You know the most important person in your life should be? You. Ooh, that sounds selfish. Nah, it's my mama, it's my boo, it's my child. No, it got to be you, because you're no good to any of them if you don't take care of you. And see, we're not taught that. We're taught that that's selfish. We're taught, nah, if I think about me more than I think about someone else, then I'm self-consumed. I'm a narcissist. Not necessarily. I have to think about me. I can't love you unless I love me. I can't love me unless I love God. Come on. So when I get how I treat me, how I treat you is a reflection of how I feel about me. You understand? Yeah. Yeah. The most important thing for a codependent to understand is that they are only in control of themselves and must simply let people be who they are. That was very hard for me to grasp. That was a very hard concept. It says the most important thing for a codependent to understand is they are only in control of themselves. For years, I asked the question, why me? Why, Lord? Why me? Why, Lord? I couldn't understand certain things as it relates to my family dynamics. I couldn't understand why God allows certain things. I couldn't understand why people did certain things to me. And I would get angry. And I would have outbursts. And I would shut down. And I would not let people in. I could no longer, because I let so many of the wrong people in for a long time. I got to the point where I was like, I can't even trust my own instinct. And that's what the enemy wants you to do. He wants you to feel like you can't trust yourself. You always make bad decisions. That's not true. What you can do is assess the bad decisions that you made and identify why you made them and commit to doing the necessary work to break the cycle so you don't keep making the same mistakes repeatedly. You can't control another person. The only person that you're in control of is yourself. The great news is that any behavior that has been learned can be unlearned. Did y'all know that? Any behavior that has been learned can be unlearned. A lot of the things that we as humans, male, female, have grasped and begin to implement in our daily lives, we learned that from our childhood. We watched our families, we watched our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents, our caregivers. We watched them and we began to duplicate or model the behavior that we saw demonstrated. See, this is grown woman, grown man talk today. This is not a hype you up. This is a I gotta do some work. The Carla Cannon Show is designed only for people who want to become better, who want to break self-destructive cycles, who want to level up their mindset. I'm so sick of seeing all this stuff all over social media, how to build a six-figure this, a six-figure that. You can make all the money that you want to make, but if your mental capacity can't handle it, you're going to self-destruct. I've had plenty of money in my bank account and was semi out of my mind. Oh, yes, I have experienced that. Come on, let's focus on having a healthy heart, a healthy mind, healthy relationships with ourselves, healthy relationships with other people, and then the money will come. Thank you, Karen. Listen, I'm so sick of seeing it, y'all. It's everywhere. It's on Clubhouse. I had to get off Clubhouse. It was just too much bad information. I was like, everybody think they're expert, and I'm listening to some of this stuff, and I'm like, that is wrong. Like, you don't tell people they gotta do it like this. I'm like, nah, it don't gotta be done like that just because that's how you did it. I tried to ride that wave, yo. I couldn't. I tried. Yes, you see the rich self-destructing every day. Yeah, so it's nothing wrong with making money. Y'all see what I'm saying? But I want you to focus on your mental health, your inner peace, your happiness, your joy. I just told y'all, I really believe Whitney died of a broken heart. I really believe that. She couldn't be who she just who she was. There were so many expectations. And can I tell y'all, I am nowhere near the level of Whitney Houston, but I felt that way many times in my life. I felt that way for a long time, growing up as a church girl. And then when I finally started finding my voice, I felt like I was told I got to move like this. I gotta dress like this. I gotta look like this. I gotta sound like this. I got stressed out. I was like, so nobody can't know I like Nuck If You Buck. Like, nobody can know that I like that song. They gotta just think I listen to Take Me to the King. They can't know I like God and Cardi. Like, they can't know I like to do body yada 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 with Megan Thee Stallion. Like, they don't. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion too, because she won a Grammy last night. But they can't know that. It's so much pressure. Yo, somebody say, remove the pressure. Come on, type it on the screen. Remove the pressure. Stop letting people put all this pressure on you. Listen, I had people telling me who I could be friends with, who I couldn't be friends with. Can I tell y'all, the most loyal people that I've had around me weren't necessarily the religious people. I had pastor friends, bishop friends, apostle friends. Most of them were trying to sleep with me. I had ministry friends. I had all these type of friends. They love God, so they say, but lack character, lacked integrity, do all kind of shadiness behind the scenes. But yet my friends who, you know what I'm saying, might not have been all that spiritual and religious, they were the most loyal, the most consistent, there when I needed them, loved me despite my flaws, and okay. Y'all better stop letting these people dictate and determine your life. You understand what I'm saying? Because here's the deal. We say, oh, you can't be friends with this person, or you don't need to connect yourself with that person. Y'all unequally yoked as friends or partners or whatever. Well, you do know that you can be unequally yoked with other Christians, right? Because just because somebody say they are a Christian doesn't mean they are Christ-like. We are all striving to be more like Christ, but you got some people that are just downright deceptive. You really do. And we got to deal with those. Yeah. And we got to deal with that stuff. We got to remove that pressure. I really believe this is why a lot of these celebrities end up drug overdoses, because they trying to function. Some of them trying not to feel. You see what I'm saying? And so again, it's not about the money. You can make the money and still be empty. Then what? Yeah, she said, yes, indeed. They are the realest, the ones outside the church walls. I'm just saying, like, now I rock with who rocks with me. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you got to say. I don't care if they gay. I don't care if they straight. Doesn't matter to me. None of that matters to me. But we get so caught up in the appearances of what we think our lifestyles should look like. And then you wonder why you got people blowing their brains out or committing suicide or depressed and then full of anxiety and need medication to function and medication to sleep and all of these things, because we put so much pressure. God don't even put that much pressure. You understand? But we allow people, we allow church folks, religious, the scribes, the modern day scribes and Pharisees that tell you how you should be and what you should do and how, man, miss me with all of that. I don't care nothing about none of that. I'm telling y'all, I remember, I'm being real serious right now. I remember, I know I gotta give you at least one story, child. I remember I was mentoring this girl, and this is some real life stuff, y'all. I've been dealing with heavy stuff for a long time, and I'm only 36. I've been dealing with heavy stuff for a really long time, but God sends me the heavy stuff because he knows I'm gonna give it to him, and he knows he can trust me with it. If you're the type of person where people are constantly coming to you, sharing their secrets and things like that, yo, you better make sure God can trust you with that information, because he'll test you a few times and then he'll stop letting people come to you because you're a talebearer and a gossiper. And so when people come to me, I'm talking about with heavy stuff, y'all. So I had this girl I was mentoring years ago. And she ended up, thank you, baby. She said, that's why I followed you, Cece, because you keep it real for real. I do my best because I just don't have time for that. Yo, I have lived, y'all do not understand. I literally almost lost my mind before trying to keep up with this persona of what a Christian is supposed to look like. People trying to tell me who I should love, who I shouldn't love. Folks wanting to tell me they got a whole picture of who they think I'm supposed to be with. That's why I keep all that private. That ain't none of y'all business. You don't know if I'm married or single. You don't know. Because I don't. Because why does it matter? You see what I'm saying? Like we so busy trying to inspire and make ourselves look like our story is moving all along. But listen, when you live like me, where everything is so open and your whole life, some stuff you just learn how to keep to yourself, child. I used to announce everything. That was that codependent behavior. I had to let somebody know. That was that me trying to prove my enemies wrong. Now it's like, yo, I'm gonna live my life and I'm gonna be me and I'm gonna do me. So anyway, years ago, had this girl I was mentoring, and she confided in me. Well, actually, it came out. She didn't confide. She confided afterwards. It came out that she had molested this little boy. And she molested the little boy. So instead of, now I'm being honest with y'all now, come on. And I had a young patient, was young at that time. And so it comes out that she molested this little boy. All right. Now, the first thing, now we both went to the same church first, and my pastor finds out, first thing he tells me, you need to this is my pastor at the time. You need to disassociate with her because that can hurt your brand. And I remember listening to him. This was way back then, y'all. I'm only 36, so I was young back then. And I looked at him. I said, listen, if I turn my back on her, who's gonna help her? So I'm not supposed to be connected to her. Like, yo, I done took her in as my sister, my mentee. So I'm not supposed to help her because she done got in a little trouble. Nah, we're not doing that. And I told him that. I said, nah, I'm not gonna do that. He told me to disconnect from her. She could hurt your ministry. He didn't even know all the issues I had. I could have hurt my own ministry. Come on. I went to her instead. Had a conversation. I said, what happened? She told me what happened. I said, what happened to you? And we had a real conversation. Come to find out, she was fondled and molested. Yo, I told y'all, anytime we don't deal with these things, it's gonna manifest in different ways. We're gonna repeat cycles. We gotta be careful because the very thing that you hate and despise, if you don't deal with that, you will become it. You understand? If you don't deal with those small character flaws, then you'll look up and you'll be a full blown full-blown murderer, full-blown liar, pathological liar, deceptive, all of this crazy stuff. And so I didn't write her off. I was like, I'm not going to walk away. She knew what the pastor told me. I said, I'm not going to do that. I said, because too many people walked away from me and left me when they thought my life was over. And here's what we do when it's situations like that. We don't know what to do. You mean molestation? Yo, I believe you can recover from anything. I really, really believe it. I believe if you murder, I believe you can recover from anything. Now, will people let you live it down? Probably not. But with the help of God, you can recover from anything. And I just refuse to walk away from people just because they got issues or just because you can look at them and see their sin. Well, baby, you can't look at me and see mine, can you? But I got some. And so that's right, Sharon. That spirit of legalism, control, manipulation, you know what I'm saying? All of that crazy stuff going on. And I want to encourage y'all, when you are connected to people that are going through hard stuff, show up, help them press through them hard moments. Because when your hard moments come, you're going to need somebody to help you press through. Social media, you ain't going to be able to post how you really feel. Like, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, I was going through some stuff that I just couldn't see myself coming up here going live. I ain't built like that. All right. Anybody know me for real? I just really am not built. I'm not a pretender. I just, with the weight that I was carrying and trying to figure out how not to go to jail because something crazy had happened to my daughter, I had to clear my mind. Okay, literally. And I said, there's no way I can go up there talking about it's a golden morning, y'all. Like, no, I gotta feel that. I gotta be in that, and I wasn't in it at all, like at all. So I appreciate y'all prayers. Like, yo, we gotta start being honest. I'm not even talking about being real. We gotta just start being honest and transparent. Because sometimes people be real and they get real ratchet. I'm talking about be transparent, be honest, let people know that you're not okay. Yo, I'm not okay, but I will be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to just go back and I had to focus on me because with my life work, not my job, but my life work is always consumed with everybody else. And I had to just say, nah, I'm taking 2 weeks for Carla. I don't want to hear about your problem. I don't want to hear about your dilemma. Pray about it. Talk to God. I can't help you. Oh, that sounds so mean. Yo, you better learn how to set up some boundaries because folks will kill you. There are some people that they didn't know the capacity, but they knew some of the things I was dealing with and was still contacting me to pray for this and pray for that. I was nice. I responded. But I'm like, people don't care. You understand what I'm saying? I need y'all to understand this. Like Audra, I'm gonna say this, and it's probably gonna sound real hard. There's somebody somewhere that don't care nothing about your mama just died. They don't care. All they want to know what I need from Audra. They'll know your mama just died like months ago. They'll know it and still call you. Can you bake us a lemonade cake? Girl, I just buried my mother. Are you kidding me? But that's how people's minds are programmed. Until you reprogram that mind, people are selfish as heck. You understand? I'm telling y'all the truth. This is why you got to take care of you. The number one most important person in your life is who? You. All right? Whew. You understand? You got to take care of you. And a part of taking care of you is identifying, as we are having these conversations about codependency and narcissism and toxic behaviors and patterns. Yeah. Toxic behaviors and patterns and all of that stuff. We got to say, where do I fit in here? Does this apply to me? I got to take care of me. Listen, I need y'all, type this on the screen. I'm taking care of me from now on. Come on. Type it on the screen. I'm taking care of me from now on. You got to take care of you. You got to take care of your own mindset. Listen, let me tell y'all something too, because I've seen a lot of crazy, and I've even looked crazy at times because I've done this. I've seen when somebody come and do something crazy publicly and then you respond publicly or you try to justify. I was like, yo, that really makes you look retarded. And I saw somebody else do that was very well known. And I was like, why are they doing that? God said, that's what you look like when you be trying to justify. Or when that girl came in on your live on the early part of your Carla Cannon show and she said something crazy, you could have just ignored her. Sometimes people come in because they want your attention. Ignore them. I was like, now, guy, that's real hard because I pop off. He's like, yeah, that's what I want to deal with. I want to deal with that pop off because that pop off will keep you from your next level. That pop off will keep you to the next dimension. You still want to fight will keep you from that next dimension. I was like, I be wanting to, but I don't. He said, but still, I want to get you to a point where you don't even respond. I said, whoo! He said, I want to get you to a place you can see ignorance and your countenance don't even change. You can hear somebody say something dumb and you don't even got to respond to them. That's the type. I don't know about y'all. You understand? I don't know about y'all, but that's the level I'm trying to get on. Y'all remember early on the Carla Cannon Show, I had the prophetess come up in here acting crazy, and I had to respond. And God was like, you didn't have to do that. Let her say what she's going to say. He said, where I'm taking you, there's going to be people that's going to always have something to say. He said, you think Fantasia out here, this one out here, responding to every critic that they had? He was like, yo, you are fighting, you are wasting energy fighting unnecessary battles. So when the real battle shows up, you won't have any strength to fight. That's what the enemy wants you to do. Come on, you got to take care of you from now on. And a part of codependency is people pleasing. That's right. That's right, y'all. Part of codependency, and we're going to get into it more tomorrow. Part of codependency is people pleasing. You say yes when you know you want to say no, or you say yes when you know you should say no. And there's so many other characteristics. And there's nothing to feel bad about, guys, because trust me, I've been there. And at times, I still have codependent tendencies, and I'm working on it. I'm a codependent in recovery because it's a lot. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to overcome all your struggles and all your issues in a day. All right. So today we talked about what is codependency. And I said codependency is when your ability to function is contingent upon another person, thing, or substance. Right. And then we talked about the heart of codependency and recovery lies not in another person, but it lies in the way that we have let other people's behaviors affect us in the ways. Let me read this. Let me see. Okay, this is how I meant to say it. The heart of codependency and recovery lies not in the other person, but it lies in ourselves, in the way that we have let other people's behaviors affect us, and in the ways we have let other people's behaviors affect us. And I said that twice. Hold on. With my pen. I'm gonna read this thing to y'all the right way. Hold on. This is what happens when you write your notes. I have to write my notes out. I'm old school. Okay, here it is. The heart of codependency, third time's a charm. The heart of codependency and recovery lies not in the other person, a child, an adult, a spouse, a friend, a relative, a client. It lies in ourselves, in the way that we have let other people's behaviors affect us, and in the ways we try to affect them. And then we said what some of those ways include: obsessing, self-repression, abundance of anger and guilt. And then we talked about some characteristics of a codependent person. And then tomorrow we're going to get into there are 13. There are so many characteristics of codependency, but we're going to talk about 13 of them. All right. And then we're going to begin to break them down so that you have a clear understanding of what that looks like. And then on Thursday, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Characteristics of codependency. We're going to delve deeper tomorrow. Characteristics of a codependent person. We're going to talk about that tomorrow and Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we're going to talk about signs that you may be codependent. And then on Friday, we're going to talk about how to break free from codependency. That's what we're talking about all week. Make sure that you share this broadcast with someone, tag someone, let them know. Tell somebody that you haven't told about the Carla Cannon Show. Tell them, say, hey, tune in. Y'all, going forward, I will be here weekdays, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So this week's offer. Today's offer, I want to extend to you. Y'all know I always give you something that's going to assist you in the meantime that you can work on in your personal time, your personal study, right? If the only time you're looking at or assessing these type of things is when I'm live, then you're not really doing your work. Doing your work is what you do when it's just you and you. All right. So I want to extend to you my Becoming Her Masterclass. It includes the audio training replay and a workbook. All right. And you can get yours today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. This is a very popular training that I did, very effective, and it's called Becoming Her. And you can go to bit.ly/Becoming Becoming Her Masterclass. It's pre-recorded. It's from a live class that I did. And when I say powerful, and then it has the workbook as well. All right. Very affordable. And this is do it on your own. It's an automatic download. So you don't have to wait for anything to come in the mail. Let me put this in the comments. Let me put this here, y'all. All right, and give me a second. Let me go on here. I don't know if it's gonna let me pin it. There it is. Becoming Her Masterclass, bit.ly/Becoming Her Masterclass. All right. So that's how you'll get that. All right. And so Becoming Her is designed to empower and equip women on how to look introspectively at their lives and commit to spiritual and personal growth and development as they continue their journey of becoming who they are destined to be. Within this training, it's called Becoming Her. It's an audio training and a workbook. You can literally listen to it while you exercise. You can listen to it while you work. You can listen to it if you can set aside 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I think it's either like 30. I don't know how long the audio is. It's pretty long because I did a live training. So it's pretty long. But it's effective. And the information that we're talking about is all about personal transformation and becoming who you're destined to be. So within the training, you will learn how to unlock hidden potential to achieve greatness, unleash God's anointing in your life, and activate your power to dominate in the earth. This virtual masterclass is excellent for individuals who are ready to get out of their own way, are in need of spiritual detoxification, and are ready to become all that they've been destined to be. So this is where you go to get yours. Again, it's an automatic download. So it's an MP3 download. So when you go on bit.ly/Becoming Her Masterclass, when you go there and you click that link and you purchase it, it's like $35 for the audio replay and the workbook. And so and when you purchase it, you'll get it automatically to your email. The email is going to be whatever email you submit. You know what I'm saying? When you make your purchase, you're going to get it to whatever is connected, whether that's your PayPal or whatever that's connected to your payment. You insert that information and you'll receive it automatically to your email. And this is what the workbook looks like. It's the Becoming Her Masterclass workbook, and it asks questions, and it's an 8-page workbook. All right. And very effective, but this is how you do your personal work. This is how you do your inner work. And so that's what this purpose is this week. As we talk about overcoming codependency, the purpose of that is so that you can become her, who you're destined to be, who God has predetermined for you to be, and who you have to look forward to becoming. All right. So again, it's called Becoming Her. You go to bit.ly/Becoming Her Masterclass. That is today's offer. Make sure that you check it out. And if you have any questions, let me know. All right. Any questions before we get ready to head out today? I will be here weekdays, moving forward, weekdays, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also want you guys to know, remember when I said previously that I was going to do the Carla Cannon Show one quarter, and then the podcast? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue the Carla Cannon Show. And I decided to do that because the enemy was messing with me these 2 weeks that I was out. And I know it was because of how effective. I know this show is helping people on Facebook Live, those who watch the replay, on YouTube, on Instagram. I know that it's helping you get your life all the way to. And guess what? I want to hear more of your praise reports. Inbox me on Facebook, on my business page that you're on, or email me, inbox me on social media. I am at Carla R. Cannon. I want to hear more of your praise reports, how certain videos, books that I've written that you read are helping you specifically. Let me know. Let me tell you why I want you to send those to me. Because when life gets tough, On those tough days when I don't feel like getting out of bed, because I have those days. People don't want to be honest. I have those days when I don't want to get out of the bed, when I feel like, am I being effective in anything that I'm doing? Because we all go through that. You like, am I really being effective? Am I really helping people? We all go through that, and we feel that. And I can go back to your emails. I can go back to your inboxes. I can go back to your 5-star reviews that you leave for my books on Amazon. I can go back to your pictures that you sent me posting my book, holding them up, and it encourages me. And that is how I feel my love tank. It reminds me that, yo, I'm really helping people, because the enemy, his voice can get real loud. I don't care the best of the best. I don't care how anointed you are, how appointed you are, how deep you are, how spiritual, how well versed in the Bible you are. You still will have moments of weakness where the enemy will try to, he'll kick you while you're down, and he'll be like, yeah, ain't nobody missing your show. Y'all was definitely missing. Did y'all miss the Carla Cannon Show? I got a lot of emails. I really did. A lot of inboxes like, yo, we miss you. We praying for you. Take all the time that you need. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that more than anything. Now, when you coming back, oh my God, I appreciate that. The genuine concern. All right. How do you watch the Carla Cannon Show? Right here on IGTV. All of my replays. I kicked it off in January. The Carla Cannon Show is actually a spinoff from, I think back in 2015, I had my own radio show. And so that logo that y'all see, the Carla Cannon Show, that's like 2015? That's years old. You know what I'm saying? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's like 6 years old. And so what I decided to do was to bring it back. And so you can catch it here on IGTV. If you, when we get done, if you click on my profile and you swipe over to IGTV, you'll see all of the Carla Cannon shows. And I always post the replay. Or some of y'all be fasting from social media. You can always watch me on YouTube or Facebook Live, Carla R. Cannon. All right. So that's how y'all can do it. Make sure that you like and follow. If someone invited you here, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, let's do this. Y'all know how we do. Make sure take a moment and type today's takeaway. What was said today that resonated the most for you? Let me know. Let me know. Put it on the screen. What resonated to you the most? What was it that was said today that you're walking away with? What are you walking away with today? Let me know. Put it in the comments. I would go on IG just to see if I missed the show. Then I just reviewed the replays. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And y'all make sure, share this if you can. Tag somebody, text some friends, family members. Tell people like, yo, this is a show that's really helping people. Oh, you missed me. I missed you too, Sharon. Juanita, you had a birthday. She said, I missed it, but definitely understood why you took the time off. Yeah, I had to. Yes, I missed your show. I was checking on YouTube every other day to see if you uploaded any material. But watch this, guys. What you could have been doing in that meantime is rewatching some of the replays, because scientifically proven, it says that we have to hear something up to 3 to 5 times to actually retain the information. And if you've been following the Carla Cannon Show, or you've been tuned in, we share a lot of heavy stuff. And so sometimes I want to encourage you, go back and watch those replays and listen to them, because this information is profound. It's really good information, psychological, to help you psychologically, to help you spiritually, and to help you personally. All right. Recognize the signs of being true. Yes. Recognize the signs of codependency. That was helpful for you. Letting go of the pressure. Sanija, I look forward to talking to you this week, baby. Yeah, letting go of the pressure. Definitely missed you. Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you, Brittany. I was worried about you. Then I was like, Audra, she most likely needs a dang break. I did. Because here's the deal. Whenever you're doing this type of, let me tell y'all something. Remember, I told y'all this before. Ministry is not restricted to what you do in the pulpit. Okay, that's not, ministry is anything you do as unto the Lord. And when you are doing things that are going to help, that is helping transform the lives of people or help them in any capacity, you are waging in warfare. You are fighting against an opponent, an unseen enemy, and he is not happy. He's not gonna sit back and be like, yeah, just keep transforming lives. No, you're gonna have opposition, but it only makes you stronger. I'm just glad I knew, I need to take a break. And because I had to take that 2-week break, now I'm going to do the Carla Cannon Show every week, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to run my podcast. So my podcast, Woman Heal, is still going to launch next month. Yeah, it's not a game. I told the devil, I said, you know what? Since you made me lose 2 weeks, all right. All right, I'm gonna go even harder. And so I'm researching topics that that I believe will help you guys. We have the Women of Standard Book Club coming up. We're actually gonna be discussing. I'll give you guys a heads up. The book club is coming because this is going to be our spring read. The book club is coming, and this is going to be on Women of Standard Network. The discussion takes place right there on Women of Standard Network. So make sure you like us and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, right? The book we're going to be discussing, I finished reading this book. I don't teach from any books unless I've read them. And we're going to do When Women Pray by Bishop T.D. Jakes. And when I tell you this book is phenomenal, it's covering 10 women in the Bible who prayed and shifted and shook up a generation and shook up nations. And so just reminding us that we have to be women of prayer. Not sharing this from a religious perspective, but sharing it from a relational perspective and say, yo, our relationship with God matters. You don't got to be a religious person, but you do need to have a relationship with God. Know that he hears you, and we're going to be having this conversation. And so be on the lookout. If you follow us on Women of Standard Network, Facebook or Instagram, you'll see the information. We're going to be releasing the flyer and giving you guys time to go ahead and get the book and read chapter 1. And it's going to be a 10-week study because we meet once a week for the Women of Standard Book Club. All right. Most definitely missed you. Making yourself a priority. Yes. I'm walking away with ignore them. Do not respond. Yes. Take care of yourself first. Start showing up for me. Yes. The importance of self-care. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Will I be doing any conferences? Not this year, Sonia. Thank you so much. Thank you. I got it braided while I was out, y'all. Got my hair braided. Not this year. I've been doing, and that was kind of hard because 8 years consecutively, I hosted a Women of Standard experience. And so, right. But it was, I needed a break. I really needed that break. And it's crazy because you never know how God's going to answer your prayer, because I felt like God wanted me to shift the Women of Standard experience, but I didn't know how to shift it, because once you've been doing something consecutively every year, people get so accustomed to it being the way that it was. And I was so ready to shift it and shake it up. And so having this break gives me time to come with something new, something fresh, and it's something else. So I may still use the name Women of Standard Experience because that's what it is. It's an experience. And but not this year. I'm going to be doing more so master classes, trainings, doing more coaching. Really want to help people excel spiritually, personally, and professionally. All right. You gained 2 weeks of strength. Yes. I missed you, but I understand why you had to take a break. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Take care of you first. That's your takeaway. Absolutely. Absolutely. So now y'all don't have to worry about me going anywhere, because I'm going to be here weekdays, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Can't wait for the book club. Yes, we have had some amazing books. And I'm even going to shift the book club up. I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's not going to always be spiritual books, because sometimes these books are very, very powerful. A lot of times there's so many powerful books, but they may not have a spiritual underlining to it, but life application strategies can be applied and can really assist you. So we're going to do the spiritual one, but then we're going to tap into some other books as well. And then I got to do my interviews because, every week we do intimate conversations. The last one we did on Women of Standard Network was with Michelle McKinney-Hammond. So got a little behind with that, but it's all right. It's all right. We're going to get that together. And so you guys know, I don't ever let you know in advance who the next feature is going to be. You just know when you see the flyer. All right. So make sure that you're following me here and that you follow me on at Women of Standard Network. There's some good stuff going on. So keep me in prayer. Also, make sure that you get your automatic download of Becoming Her. When I tell you guys, I'm teaching you how to embrace you, heal your heartbreak, and activate your power. All right. You go to bit.ly/Becoming Her Masterclass. All right. Becoming Her Masterclass. And it will transform your life. All right. And you only got to pay $35. When I taught the class live, they definitely paid more than that. All right. So tomorrow we'll be continuing our conversation of characteristics of codependency / examples of codependent behavior. And we'll be delving deeper into that. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Y'all be blessed. Have an amazing day. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Share this. Let somebody know that the Trailblazer is back. Have a good day.